Take a deep breath, because this might not just reshape the altcoin market, but rewrite the trillion-dollar architecture of global finance. Since early 2025, behind closed doors in Washington, a new legislative draft has been circulating. It has a different name in official documents. But in the crypto underground, everyone calls it one thing: the cleanup operation. The SEC's strategy might look simple: classify the majority of altcoins as securities. But that label isn't just a tag, it's the magic key that rewrites the entire game. What happens when they become securities? Most tokens will vanish from exchanges overnight. The listing will become mandatory and some projects will be crushed under lawsuits. But here's where the story turns dark. Weeks before this plan even became public, giants like Coinbase and Binance quietly started the listing certain coins. Why? Is it just fear of regulation, or had someone already flipped the switch behind the curtain? It reminds me of that moment right before the 2008 crisis, when banks silently pulled toxic assets off their books. Back then, everyone stayed quiet, and in finance, silence is always more dangerous than a scream. So, is this really about investor protection? Or is it about killing decentralization and turning the entire system into a single, centrally controlled digital structure? Because if thousands of altcoins vanish, what will be left? A handful of state-approved tokens, cryptocurrencies controlled by tech giants, and a solitary Bitcoin. There are over 10,000 altcoins in the market today, but here is the cold, hard truth. Analysts say that by the end of 2025, 90% of these projects will either be wiped out or completely banned. And it won't just be because of scam projects. Some will hit the regulatory wall, some will be quietly delisted from exchanges, some will collapse as big funds silently pull out. And here is the real danger for retail investors. Because when a coin's price crashes, the instinct is always the same: I'm buying the dip. But this won't be a dip. What we'll be seeing this time is that bit of a project. One of the greatest delusions in crypto might be this: not every crash is an opportunity. Sometimes a crash is the quiet signal that something has truly died. The SEC repeats the same line: we're doing this to protect investors. But what if the truth is something entirely different? Will wiping out thousands of altcoins overnight really create a safer ecosystem? Or just a new version of financial dictatorship? And after this massacre, who will control the surviving 10%? Governments, Wall Street, or the global tech giants? If you woke up tomorrow and the token you hold was suddenly delisted overnight, what will you do? When you're stuck holding a coin you can't sell, can't withdraw, and does suddenly declare it worthless, would you still call this investor protection? And right in the middle of this storm comes the critical question. If the altcoin massacre happens, what will be left? One name: Bitcoin. Some economists compare this to the return to the gold standard in the 20th century. Back then, central banks hoarded gold reserves to reset the entire system. So what's happening today? The whisper in the corridors is this: the US and several major countries are quietly accumulating Bitcoin reserves. Just like gold, just like they're preparing for a new global monetary system. If that's true, then the altcoin massacre isn't just a market cleanup. It might be that once-in-a-lifetime reset moment. As thousands of altcoins vanish silently, the financial system could be rewritten on top of Bitcoin itself. And when that day comes, when all that's left are state-approved tokens, corporate-controlled coins, and a solitary Bitcoin, we'll finally understand this was never just about crypto. This was the reset of the entire financial system. The next few months could be one of the most critical periods in crypto history. Thousands of altcoins will vanish overnight. Investors will panic. The The media will call it a market cleanup, but behind the curtain, a completely different game might be playing out. And if at the end of that game, Bitcoin is left standing alone as the global digital gold, then we'll understand this wasn't about crypto. This was about resetting the entire financial system. Is the altcoin massacre really to protect investors, or is it the blueprint for building a new digital empire? Keep your eyes open, because when this wave hits, most people won't even understand what they just collided with. This is Heart of Economy. If you want to see the hidden face of finance, stay right here.